Good morning everyone and very warm welcome to one and all. Till now we have begun with the ecology sessions and we are on progress towards the further syllabus. As I said, we have learned various things and we have come out to a various ecological hierarchy in the ecology of the very first chapter, that is organism and population. Okay, now I'll tell you, we have learned, as we have seen yesterday, different types of various region. I have told you Himalayan regions, I have told you northern coastal plains, I have told you coastal plains, I have told you, you remember yesterday, the previous class, the map of India. Why did I teach you those all things? Why those things were really very important, do you think? Yes, my friends, those things were really very important. Why? Because when you see, now we are going on to the biome, you will see, you will get on to different types of region. You'll get type of different types of region in those areas. And when you get it, you should understand, oh, this region falls in which state, which area falls, which regional vegetation falls in which state. That's why yesterday I have given you a very brief, short, brief example with the states, with the region and particular region. Today I've told you what is biome. Why do seasons occur? Why do different types of seasons occur? I have told you different zones of earth. I have told you tropical zone. I have told you temperate zone. I have told you polar zone. I have told you northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. I have told you equator. I have told you all the seven continents and their basic region associated with the map of India. We have seen Andaman Nicobar and we have seen Lakshadweep. Clear? That was the yesterday's. We have seen overall world's vegetation. Among that, we have seen our country's vegetation, different regions in our country, mostly known for what? Mostly known for mountainous region. Then those are what? Basically, those are biomes. There you study, there you come to know what is biomes. I have taught you definition of biomes, what actually biome says. I have given you very good examples of biomes. Now we are going to see what all different types of biomes we are going to see. So give my friends, give the very next heading, types of biomes. Biomes include tropical rainforest, tropical rain forest, then comes savanna, then comes desert, then comes temperate forest, then come. You can also write it as temperate deciduous forests, temperate deciduous forest, and temperate grassland. Then we will study tundra, and last but not the least, that is taiga. In tundra, we will see two zones, which includes Arctic and Alpine. Clear? What different types of biomes I'm going to tell you? I'm going to tell you few different types of biomes, which includes tropical rainforest, savanna, desert, temperate deciduous forest, temperate grassland. Then we are going to see two last biomes, that is tundra regions and taiga regions. Tundra, we are going to see two zones, the Arctic and Alpine zone. That's all. Before we go to these whole topics in detail, I'd like to tell you about them. Could you see this picture over here, this beautiful map orientation over here? Yes, we can. Can you see, I have arranged the x and y axis in two different ways. Among the x-axis consists of mean annual precipitation. I have told you what is precipitation. Precipitation is rain and snow. Rain and snow, or you can also call it as only rain. Clear? So This is the annual precipitation in centimeter. The unit of this radiation is this unit of this rain is in centimeter measured, and the y-axis we have considered mean annual value of temperature. One we have taken temperature, one we have taken precipitation. Before I go to further chapters, further topic, I would like to tell you, the higher the temperature, remember one point, higher the temperature, higher the rainfall. Higher the rainfall. Whenever there is higher temperature, there is always higher rainfall, or you can write it as higher precipitation. This is the very important word of your NCERT. Remember it always. जिस जगह पे आपको टेम्परेचर ज्यादा दिखता है, उसी जगह पे आपको रेनफॉल भी ज्यादा दिखेगा. एग्जाम्पल से बताओ, ये देखो, आपको टेम्परेचर कहाँ ज्यादा दिख रहा है? ये डिग्री सेल्सियस में टेम्परेचर है. तो कैन यू सी, कैन यू मार्क इट समवेयर? This is 25. What is the rainfall associated with it? Can you see 400? Can you see 25 degrees Celsius? Maximum 250 to ranges of 400 centimeter rainfall? Can you see? So I said, higher the temperature, higher the rainfall in that area. The area which is associated with higher temperature, it always receives higher rainfall. So I was talking about you this graph. This graph is present in your NCERT and it explains about different biomes. What are those biomes? I have told you very well over here. Tropical regions, tropical rainforest, savanna, desert region, temperate grassland, tundra. It includes Arctic and Alpine, and then taiga regions. I have told you this very well, okay? Similarly, if we arrange in the map, it seems like, just have a view. Can you see what is this? The first one is tropical rainforest. If someone asks you, tropical rainforest, rainfall, what does it range? It ranges from 250 to 400 centimeter. Can you see rainfall? Can you see this rainfall? Can you see, my friends, for tropical rainforest? This is for tropical rainforest. 250 to 400, you can include it straight, is 400. This much centimeter of rainfall this area receives. And what could be the temperature? 15, it can range from 15 to 25. Moreover, from 20 to 25, the variation of the temperature can be. So two things are very clear over here for the tropical rainforest. That is, rainfall ranges from 250 to 400 centimeter. 250 to 400 centimeter. And temperature 20 to 25. You can write it as 23 to 27 degrees Celsius approx, because this goes mild way up also if you draw a perfect geographical landmark. So you can write it as temperature as 23 to 27 degrees Celsius is the approx temperature for tropical rainforest. Similarly, if you go for savanna, what is, ma'am, you should ask me, what is the savanna? You have never ever, you have written here, but you have not marked in the diagram. What is that? I'll tell you. Savanna is basically a grassland, interspread grass areas equally or equally in an amount of specified place that is called as grass areas, and geographically it is referred to as savanna. Clear? Savanna. And what is that? For example of this grassland, I'll show you. Can you see the rainfall or the amount of rainfall which it receives? It's still almost 100 to 150. Maximum it can receive from 100 to 150. Can you see? This is very important. From you know what, NCERT will never give you this point or tropical rainforest will receive rainfall from 250 to 400 centimeter. No, my friends, directly these lines are not written. But use your brain. There is a graph given here. From there you should understand. Oh, if the question comes from tropical rainforest, you should understand the rainfall is between 250 to 400 centimeter. Got it? Yes. That's what I said. And if I ask you for savanna, what is the savanna? This is basically a grassland area. This is basically a grassland area. Okay, this is what a grassland area which range between 100 to 150. Can you see the zone? This is the area. This is the rainfall. This is the rainfall for tropical, I told you. Clear? Please don't get confused, my friends. Just have a look. What does the temperature rise? Temperature rises beyond underneath of 25 and comes under from 0. Can you see this? In a grassland, there are the possibilities that temperature go to 0 degrees Celsius. There is the possibility that temperature can be 5 degrees Celsius. And there is also the possibility that grassland, the temperature can be 15 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius. Clear? Then comes the third, the desert areas. Can you see the desert areas? How high the temperature is? It could go, even if you extend particularly, it goes till 40 degrees Celsius, my friend. This is the yet more correct diagram. It goes, if you go extend this, it comes to 40 degrees Celsius. The temperature may extend from 20 degrees Celsius to 40. Consider in this way. Okay. So, what is the temperature in the desert area? Temperature may extend from 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Clear? Temperature, you understand this area, you understand this diagram. It is very important. You know what, how the question comes? The question comes, they will basically give you this occupied area. What this occupied area is. You should know, this stands for coniferous forest. This stands for if I ask you this stands for tropical forest. If I ask you this stands for temperate forest. So, you should remember this landmark. The simple question would be asked for you is, what is this graph implies of? What is this graph for? With the here it consists of precipitation in centimeter and here it comprises of temperature. Question is, what is this? Identify this. It's very easy. You'll then and there get the 4 marks over here. This is what? Temperate. Why? Because this is what? Tropical. This is what? Tropical. This is tropical rainforest diagram. Why? Because we have learned the diagram. We know what is the range of rainfall in the tropical rainforest and we know what can be the temperature in those areas. Clear? This is the reason we study. This is the reason I have given you this map, because it usually comes in a question that they'll basically give you the same map. They'll ask you in this way. What is this area comprised of? And the temperature could ranges from 40 to 20. You don't need to memorize this. You just need to go rainfall, etc, etc, etc. Just go with the rainfall. Can you see when the temperature is so high, which place it could be? It could be desert. It is desert. Why? Because temperature ranges varies from 20 to 40 degrees Celsius. Understood? This is, you can simply just see the map and click desert. That's all. Then and there you're getting 4 marks for your NEET exam. This is how easy this NCERT diagram has been made. Got it? That's why I'm saying it. Okay. Now, the next one is temperate deciduous forest. You know what, my friends, how the leaves are in the deciduous forest? They are tall trees and spiky leaves. They are in something in this way. They are tall trees with the spiky leaves. Once there was a question, the trees and the leaves found in the deciduous forest are, you should say, there are cone-shaped appearance leaves, and trees are very tall with a promiscuous branches present over there. Got it? This is it. Then comes temperate grassland. Temperate grassland and savanna grassland basically varies in the range of temperature. The temperature in the savanna grassland is little bit cooler than the temperature in the temperate grassland. Temperate grassland has more temperature with compared to savanna. It is basically a high range of temperature. The grasslands are present there, but the temperature of is a high place. That's why it is called as temperature grassland. Tundra is those region in the polar region where basically there is ice formation and temperature is very low, minus 10 degrees Celsius, minus 15 degrees Celsius. Can you see from your Arctic and Alpine, this is tundra region. So this is where minus 5 to minus 15 degrees Celsius can be the range of temperature for tundra region. Can you get it from here? Yeah. So if it comes in this way, see, you will get the markings, don't worry. Minus 15 and the rainfall is almost 0 to 25 range of centimeter. What you'll get it? This is just see the diagram, minus 15. Oh, it could be Arctic zone, it could be tundra region. Why? Because it shows in NCERT that tundra regions are those regions which has temperature in negative, which has less temperature, which has temperature below 0 degrees Celsius, and which also receives minimum amount of rainfall. Got it? And the soil present over here, I'm telling you this from back 3 classes, is permafrost. Why? That is a frozen soil. Got it? Yes. Now we are going to see one by one in detail. Just put the heading of tropical rainforest. Put the very first topic is tropical rainforest. We'll start it from here. It will be easy if we write it points. We can classify in that way. The first one is tropical. This area or this biome it receives maximum rainfall, and that is also referred to as area with high precipitation. Area with high precipitation. Area with high precipitation. The amount of rainfall which it receives, is in the range of 250 to 400 centimeter. Clear? The amount of rainfall which receives is in the range of 250 to 400 centimeter. The temperature ranges between 23 to 27 degrees Celsius. 23 to 27 degrees Celsius. The areas, for example, if we talk about state, it is basically Assam. If we talk about island, you can see tropical rainforest in अंडमान निकोबार. कल पढ़ाया था, इसी दिन के लिए पढ़ाया था. समझ में आया क्यों पढ़ाया था? कल जो राम कहानी चल रही थी ना, वो पूरी मैप ऑफ द इंडिया इकोलॉजी में ज्योग्राफी क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं? क्यों? क्योंकि आइलैंड अगर बोला तो अंडमान निकोबार याद आना चाहिए कि मैप के जस्ट नीचे यहाँ पे जो आइलैंड प्रेजेंट होता है लक्षद्वीप के इधर, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अंडमान निकोबार, एंड देयर वी मोस्टली सी ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट. पिछले क्लास से अब क्लास का लिंक जोड़ो, ठीक है? चलो. स्टेट is basically Assam, island is basically Andaman Nicobar, and if we talk about region, it includes northern eastern Himalayas. Himalayan region north से extend होते होते east तक जा रहे थे. I'll show you where. Northern eastern Himalayas. कल मैंने ऐसे कोई मैप बनाया था इंडिया का, लिखा पढ़ा था कि ये हिमालयन रीजन है, ये क्या है हमारा नॉर्थ, ये क्या है हमारा ईस्ट, असम कहाँ यहीं कहीं प्रेजेंट होता है, दिस इज आवर असम। एंड व्हाट इज दिस रीजन कॉल्ड एज हिमालयंस, कल की क्लास में बताया था ये रीजन को क्या कहते हैं, हिमालयन रीजन कहते हैं इसको पूरे को। याद आया कल का क्लास, याद करो। तो अगर ये नॉर्थ में है और ईस्ट में तो इसी को क्या कहेंगे, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न, नॉर्थ ईस्ट, नॉर्दर्न ईस्टर्न हिमालयंस। कोई डाउट, समझ में आया क्यों कहा है नॉर्दर्न ईस्टर्न हिमालयंस? तो मैं आपको बता दूं, ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट हमने पढ़ा। ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट एक वैसा बायोम है जहां पे मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन देखा जाता है। दूसरी चीज, द अमाउंट ऑफ रेनफॉल विच इट रिसीव्स इज 250 टू 400 सेंटीमीटर पर ईयर एंड द टेम्परेचर रेंजेस बिटवीन द 23 टू 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस एंड द एरियाज, अगर हम पूरे अपने इंडिया में बात करें ऐसे एरियाज की, तो जो स्टेट होगा वो असम होगा, जी आइलैंड होगा वो अंडमान निकोबार होगा, और रीजन अगर उसको हम बोले तो नॉर्दर्न ईस्टर्न हिमालय। ये पूछा हुआ क्वेश्चन है कि ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट इज फाउंड इन विच एरिया, तो उसमें ऑप्शन में अंडमान निकोबार था, सो यू शुड क्लिक दिस। क्लियर? So ये important है, do remember this, okay? Now give the heading another one, that is savanna. I told you what savanna is. Savanna is basically interspread grassland areas. Savanna it is basically an interspread land. It is basically an interspread grassland. You can write it as with small trees, with the small trees and shrubs. The average amount of rainfall, you can write it as per year also. The average amount of rainfall ranges between 90 to 150 centimeter. 90 to 150 centimeter per year. Clear? The herbivorous animals are found here, like buffalo and zebras, etc. These animals serves as food for carnivores like tiger, lion and all. Carnivores are those animals which mostly eat fresh. Herbivores are those animals which mostly eat grasses. That's why. So when this herbivores eat this zebras eat basically grass, and this carnivores animals eat this zebra and all other animals, and mostly there is abundant of C4 plant for C4 photosynthesis. ये पॉइंट याद रखना, पूछा हुआ क्वेश्चन है। C4 photosynthesis plant. This is abundant of C4 photosynthesis plant. I have said you, it is basically an interspread grassland with a small trees and shrubs. Its average amount of rainfall ranges between the year range of 190 to 150 centimeter, and there resides the animals that are herbivores, and this animal serves as a food for carnivores. I told you carnivores are those animals which live or which eat herbivorous animals, and there is abundance of C4 plant photosynthesis in plant. And what is this C4 plant photosynthesis? We have very well seen in the 11th chapter. You don't remember, but I do remember that I have taught this C for photosynthesis in your class 11th. For pathways in the photosynthesis chapter, for C3 and C4 pathway, when we have seen, it is those plant. And if you can find, it is fine in warmer example, you can find this area in the warmer places of India. The very beautiful grassland present in the India is the beautiful grassland present in the area in the India is present in the India is bunny grassland. Bunny, Banni, bunny grassland, which is present in state of, which is present in district of Kutch, which is of Rann of Kutch, Gujarat के पास में आता है ये area, lies in state of the beautiful area or the beautiful grassland present in the India is Bunny grassland, which lies in the Kutch district of Rann of Kutch, and it lies in the state of Gujarat. So as I said, अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि savanna grassland कहाँ पाया जाता है in India, so it is basically found in the warmer places of India. The very good example of it is Bunny grassland, which is present in the Rajasthan. Clear those points? Yeah. Now we are going to see the next point, that is desert. The most awaited point, that is desert. Now we are going to see desert. Desert is an area, or desert is a biome where the rainfall ranges from 25 centimeter per year or 10 inches. There are cold desert and hot desert. The example of cold desert are, cold desert example, ये चीजें याद रखनी है, example बिल्कुल मत भूलना because they are very important. Gobi desert and Tibet. Gobi desert and Tibet and warm desert or hot desert are clear. Examples are very important, please don't forget. There are few deserts. The true desert has a temperature of less than or approx to 12 centimeter per year. Some also lies below, some had a rainfall, actually write it as rainfall, has a rainfall of 12 centimeter per year and temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. Some desert also have rainfall of centimeter per year, so less. Example, the vegetation, if I talk about, the soil is salty, and the vegetation rocky areas is sparse, and rocky vegetation is sparse or less. Clear? The example of desert is also goes to 42 degrees Celsius in extreme hot summer, and the plants which are found in desert or in Rajasthan areas, plants found here are xerophytes. I've told you xero means something related to dryness, loss of water. I have taught you xeros here also. Similarly, I am teaching you xerophytes also. I have taught you tropical rainforest. I have taught you savannas. I have given you the example. Please do remember the example. Then I have taught you desert. Rajasthan in India is where the rainfall ranges from 25. Actually, desert are those areas in the country or in the world where rainfall is below 25 centimeter per year, and the are cold desert and hot desert. Cold desert are the frozen desert where the soil are available in the form of frozen, which includes Gobi and Tibet. Okay, and hot desert are Thar and Sahara desert. Where the here in Gobi and Tibet, Tibet is a plateau where in the border of India, where in the northern border of India, and Gobi and Tibet, the soil is sandy, but the temperature is low, not as that high which is present in Rajasthan or which is present in Thar desert and Sahara desert. The two desert has rainfall also less from 12 centimeter or below that, that is 7 centimeter per year. It can that less amount of rainfall, and then the soil is sandy. The soil is not salty. The soil is sandy. Sandy means soil is available in the form of sand. उसको हिंदी में रेत बोलते हैं. रेती मिट्टी यहाँ पे पाई जाती है, इसीलिए इसको हम लोग sandy places बोलते हैं. You play with sand dunes occurs in these areas also. These areas only, because there is presence of salt. The soil has no fertility, no connection between the particles of the soil. So that's why they have discrete particle of soil which is present. That is called as sandy areas, and no rocky vegetation is present. Why? Because I have taught you previous class, please go through it, that weathering of rock causes soil formation, and whenever there is rock weathering or the broken of the rocks, there you can see a small dispute or a good amount of soil present over there. Got it? Yes. And then comes the plants found here are mostly xerophytes. Why they are xerophytes? They are dry plants, and very good example I'll give you is cactus. Take it as example as cactus. Clear? I've told you, if you talk about, ma'am, what are the dry regions or what are the desert region in the India, you take very good example of Rajasthan state. And if I talk you about the savanna desert in the place of India, you take the very good example as Gujarat state. Remember, those states are very important, and it has literally asked. And tropical rainforest, if you take as Assam state. If you take as Himalayas, you can all, tropical rainforest, all make a star point and write it. I'll tell you, it's beautiful point of tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest also appears in Western Ghats. I have taught you few parts of, you can take it as few parts of Maharashtra, those states, Western Ghats, mostly tropical rainforest can also be found in the Western Ghats, that is, you can take as a state few parts of Maharashtra. Got it? See, I have taught you the examples, I have taught you the biomes. Please do remember the example. In this Gobi and question can come as cold desert is present, and example of it is Gobi and Tibet. Hot desert, the very good example of it is Thar and Sahara desert. The true desert has rainfall of 12 centimeter per year or below that, that is 7 centimeter. In India, you should remember the desert as the form of Rajasthan, and the plants which are found in the Rajasthan are called as xerophytes. The very good example of xerophytes is cactus. Got it? So classified the pointers. Please do remember it. Okay, come on. So now we are going to begin with the remaining part of our biomes, which includes temperate grassland, temperate deciduous forest and tundra. After this, we'll see the last one, that is taiga. Just after once we complete this, let me come to you by temperate grassland. Temperate grassland experiences a greater amount of rainfall than deserts, but lesser amount of savannas. I have taught you savannas. I have told you the temperature ranges from 90 to 150 centimeter per year. And I have taught you desert. I have told you that temperature ranges from below 12 to 7 centimeter annually per year. Right? So, this temperate grassland is an area where temperature is, or the annual rainfall is high. The rainfall ranges from the year more than the desert, but it is always more than the desert but lesser than a savanna areas, savanna regions, grassland regions. That is why this is called as temperate grassland, and they occur in higher latitude area. Yesterday I have taught you what is latitude, what is longitude. Clearly I have taught you vertical areas, and vertical and horizontal line, imaginary lines are called as latitude, longitude. And when this line a particularly specifies some area, that is referred to as higher latitude, lower latitude, whichever area they belong to. Okay, now one more thing, if we are talking about latitude and longitude, what's altitude? Altitude is the height which is measured from the sea area, that is called as altitude. Altitude is the height which is measured from the sea area, above the sea level. When you measure the height, or you measure the amount of area or the height area above the sea level, is called as altitude. Okay. So, and it is characterized by what kind of plant? It basically includes perennial grasses and the grazing animals which are found as the herds of grazing mammals. These are found in the area of, example, the temperate grassland belongs to those areas which includes mostly at the North Polar region or the eastern part of the globe. And if we talk about a country, that is India, which includes mostly in the regions of Himalayan regions. The very famous example of it is Chos temperate grassland, which is present in the Himalayas regions. And the example which you can find the temperate grassland, it can be Australia, it can be Mongolia, Australia. It can be Mongolia. It can be Eurasia. Also, these are the regions. And if we talk about in India, these are mostly Himalayan regions. Himalayan regions. Example, those occur in the area having warmer summer and cold winter, where the summer is warm and the winter is also cold. That is called, both are in the approx to the same range of warmer and colder. That is why they are called as temperate deciduous forest, and it receives a moderate amount of precipitation, which basically is a range of 70 to 150 centimeter. Okay, and then comes, it has the trees of this forest lose their leaves during the autumn and remain dormant during the winter. It remains dormant during the winter, and trees are loosed basically during the autumn season. We say spring season, right? Spring is coming, that season the trees are shed off, and then when winter occurs, those trees are in dormant stage, and that is why it is called as what kind? It is called as temperate deciduous forest, and cones and the trees are in a coney shape, shedding manner. They have trees and the leaves are arranged in the shedding manner. Okay, the very good example of it is, if you talk about in India, it includes the Western Ghat, other countries which includes the continent like Europe, few of them also include Canada. You can also include the country like Canada, continent like Europe. You can see this type of temperate deciduous forest, which is also seen this amount of forest. It also ranges some amount in Gujarat, Western Ghats. It also comes in the peninsular plateau area. Peninsular plateau areas. I have taught you what is peninsular plateau areas, which it belongs to those areas, which hills and which river comes to those areas, just to refer the previous class. Okay. Now, last and the second last but very important biome, which is tundra. It is located in the north hemisphere or in the northern hemisphere. Extending, it basically covers the area of Europe, Asia and America. It covers the area of Asia, Europe and America, but it is absent in southern hemisphere. I have told you what is hemisphere. If this is Earth, the equator divides the Earth into two equal halves, that is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. From northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, this area, the tundra region, is basically present in Arctic zone or in the North Pole or in the northern hemisphere. It is absent in the southern zone. Why? When we come to southern zone, we mostly see Antarctica circle, not Arctic. Arctic zone is basically present in the North Pole or the northern hemisphere and is characterized by the less amount of precipitation. You get very, very less amount of rainfall over here in this area. As you receive very less amount of rainfall in this area, it receives in the range of 25 centimeter annually. Okay, and it's extremely long and cold winter. Short warm, it has extremely long and cold winter. The winter which is present over here is cold, and it also has the short summer. Because it is a northern pole area, the temperature is very, very low. It almost ranges from -7 degrees Celsius to -15 degrees Celsius, and sometimes it even goes for -33 degrees Celsius. Clear? Understood? Yes. And now the vegetation seen over here is very scanty, low vegetation and devoid of trees. The trees are absent, vegetation is soil, no weathering of rocks. In fact, the soil which is present, it is in the frozen form. That's why it is called as permafrost forest, and the subsoil remains in the frozen form except few inches in summer. Only the few inches of the soil are not in frozen. Rest all the soil is in the frozen part of those area, of those things. That's why it is called as the tundra region, and it is very, very, very important. And this region is also called as Arctic desert. What it is called as Arctic desert. Got it? This region is called as Arctic desert. Better remember it. I have taught you in the graph. Arctic and Alpine, these are the region which was found over here, and the places where it can be found, it includes Canada, USA, countries like, and I have told you examples also like Northern Hemisphere extending from North America, Europe and Asia. These are the countries where you can basically get the tundra region. Over here, it is also called as Arctic desert. Soils are frozen in the form. Precipitation is very, very low. Precipitation is less. Temperature is also less. Because I have said wherever the precipitation temperature is more, there only the precipitation is more. The ice water is present in the form of snow, and temperature goes even from -7 degrees Celsius to -15 degrees Celsius, and it also ranges from -33 degrees Celsius. Got it? Yes. Tundra region, I have also told you the one concept of alpine. You remember I have told you two things, Arctic and alpine tundra. I have told you about Arctic desert. Now what comes the alpine? Alpine is the region, tundra biome where soil is not frozen. Soil is not frozen like Arctic. This is the major difference between Arctic and Alpine. Remember, I have told you soil is frozen and it's called as permafrost in Arctic desert, but in Alpine tundra, the region where soil is not frozen like Arctic. Got it? It is that place is called as Alpine tundra, and it is mostly present on higher latitudes. Present on higher latitude. Got it? You got the biomes. And last biome which we are going to study now, that is taiga, and we are done with the biome. We will move with environmental factors, a biotic and a biotic factor. Let's study about the last biome, that is, my friends, please do remember the examples, the points, the temperature, the rainfall and the graph. That's all. You can get easily 4 marks from whichever question comes from biome. I believe you can score very well in those chapters. The last biome which we are going to study is taiga. Is the last biome. First of all, taiga, it is present in the southern part or the southern hemisphere of the earth. It has cold winter. It has long and cold winter with very less precipitation. Present in the areas of Europe, America, etc. And it has cone-shaped, long, fuchsious trees. Cone-shaped, long trees like hemlock and fir. It is also found in the areas of Asia, few regions of Asia. It has presence of evergreen forest. And I've written it, they have long cold winters with very less precipitation, and long snowfall region can also be seen. Snowfall areas can be seen. Your biomes, we are beginning with a very fresh and very new topic of your ecology, that is environmental factors. Let's start with environmental factors or ecological factors. What is environmental factors? What is ecological factors? Environmental factors are those factors which easily affect the biotic components or the ecological hierarchy. What are those factors? We are going to see now. Before we go with the environmental factors, every class I come and give you the study map. Why I give you the study map, means if you go home or if you go through my videos, you will understand what every day we are learning, what every day we are gaining, what other sources we have to learn, what more to learn, what we have learned. You can differentiate. There is no segregation of knowledge. There is always acceptance of knowledge. So remember, we have learned ecology, introduction to ecology. Then we have come to organism and population, species. We have started with individual, organism, population. Then we have come to species, communities, type of communities. I have taught you succession. I have taught you niche. I have taught you habitat. I have taught you few other regions of India. I have taught you 7 continents of the world. I have also taught you zones of the earth, that all tropical rainforest, and what I have taught you why the season occurs. Totally 2 classes I have taught you long, but the very specified topic, that was biomes. I have taught you biomes in a very detailed way, because there is always a year you get a 1 to 2 question from this topic, that is biomes. Biomes is very important. Why we study biomes in this way? The very good question. Before I'll tell you why we study biomes. So you know what, we have the vegetation of India, or the vegetation of a country, or the regional interest of a country is diverse. It's variety. We should know why this happens, why we are culturally, we are vegetationally so rich. You should know about your country. You should know about the things you have learned. That's why I teach. That's why we learn biome. Now, if you say, ma'am, tomorrow I'm going to be an MBBS doctor. What is the reason why we are studying ecology? Why we are studying this ecological hierarchy? Why we are studying this microbe? Why we are studying this microbial community? Why we are studying plants in so depth? NCERT itself says 15% of your drug, 15% of your medicine drug either I prescribe or you get it from anywhere, you will have grown from the plants. 15% of the vaccines have been attenuated microorganism. You attenuate the microorganism and then get the vaccine. Got it? That is the reason, that is the scope where you get, where you know. Why? When you know the plants, that time only you can give the medicine. Then you can know the side effects. That time you can know the adverse effect. You know, you get to know, okay, this is organized, this is got it from this plant. It may have some side effects. It may have some other usual functions also. What are the good things? Because you have read about that plant, you know what it is, you have know about the species, you have know of the organism, everything. This is the primary region. Second region is about vaccines. I told you why we are studying microbes. Why? Because it is, you know what I said, all vaccines, most of the vaccines are live vaccines, are at mostly are get from the attenuated microorganisms. So that is very important as for us to study those microorganisms, those community, those group of organisms, everything. And that's the reason we all are studying here. Because when you reach to the top, when you reach to the end, you do have some base, right? That's up the base which we are building up. Once you reach to medical college, you will get your medicine book, you'll get all your books, pathology books, you'll get ortho, you'll get all your books to study. But now surgery, especially surgery, you will enjoy surgery, my friends. 3 hours you have to stand in the class and write and do, you absorb a surgeon working, and that term you get screw out, you'll understand that this biology was very easy than that surgery what we are learning. But it's interesting, you will like it, I know. So before going on with a very new chapter, a very new topic, we are going to start with the ecological factors or environmental factors. We are done with biome. Thank you.